Sorry, go ahead.
On infrastructure, Senator Capito said that she expects a counteroffer from the White House tomorrow. Can you confirm this is the deadline? Is there a deadline for tomorrow to make a counteroffer?
We do expect. We had constructive conversations at a staff level on Tuesday on the Hill with Senator Capito, other ranking members with Steve Burchetti and Louisa Terrell, Secretary Buttigieg, Secretary Raimondo, and we expect those conversations to continue tomorrow.
And then on another piece of legislation on the Hill that I know is a priority of yours, the Endless Frontier Act. Obviously, you guys care a lot about semiconductors. It seems like the negotiations have hit a couple hiccups, which is kind of normal. But at what point is the White House getting involved in smoothing this over? Because I know this was supposed to go on a faster track than your infrastructure proposal. Are you guys involved at all through your Leg Affairs team, or do you leave this all to Senator Schumer?
We're absolutely involved. We're strong supporters of the Endless Frontiers Act, as was evidenced by the statement of administration policy we put out earlier this week, and we are hopeful and looking forward to signing it into law.
Are you behind the scenes pushing to resolve the hiccups that are currently holding up the bill?
Our legislative team is closely involved with members and with their staff on moving it forward.
One last one, also on infrastructure. If you can lay out what the White House and the President himself is doing to urge congressional Democrats to support his proposed tax increases.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
What the President and your Leg Affairs team is, how that outreach, what type of outreach you're doing with Hill Democrats on the proposed tax increases.
Well, I would say the vast majority of Hill Democrats support raising taxes on the highest income and also on corporations, as do the vast majority of Americans. So I would flip that question around, and really the question we're posing out there is if you don't want to pay for these proposals, these historic investments in infrastructure, these investments in ensuring that we are making our workforce more competitive and rebuilding roads, rails, and bridges around the country, investing in broadband, if you don't want to do it by raising taxes on the top 1%, going back to the tax rates of President George W. Bush, raising them on corporations, many of whom didn't pay any taxes in the last few years, what's your alternative? That's really the question we're asking. Most people in the country and in the Democratic caucus support raising taxes on the highest income and on corporations. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. On infrastructure, given that there were staff level talks earlier in the week, can you say whether, just give us an idea if the ball's been moved forward? Has there been any, movement on maybe the pay fors? You just, talked about the importance of the president's proposal and asking Republicans to submit their own. Did they do that? Is there, how constructive was this, and how much did the ball move from where it had been prior to Tuesday?
I wish there was a daily ball moving monitor. You guys would probably love that too. It doesn't always work that way, as you know, with these negotiations and discussions with members and their staff. Our team felt they were constructive conversations. There obviously needs to be follow-up, as we fully expected, because negotiations and compromise require many conversations, sometimes back and forth proposals. We expect those to continue tomorrow, those discussions, and we're looking forward to that. But I'm not going to be evaluating kind of the percentage of progress after each meeting.
Do you expect the talks with Republicans to continue beyond tomorrow? There are some Democrats on the
We'll
Hill
see.
talking about it's time to just move on.
Look, the president's view and the view of senior members of this administration is that he was elected. The American people expect him to work with members of both parties, to attempt to work with members of both parties to get business done on their behalf. And he's doing exactly that. So we're looking forward to constructive conversations tomorrow. We'll have to evaluate how those go and what the next step is. But I'm not going to get ahead of the conversations tomorrow.
I'll just ask you one on the 1-6 Commission and the